professional landscapers, we take pride in the role we play designing, installing, and maintaining the green spaces that bring beauty to communities. Why? Because these are our communities. But right now we're under the microscope and having to fight one of the greatest battles yet, the fight against strict leaf blower regulations and even outright bans. It's time that our industry becomes a part of the conversation to prove that as much as we can be part of the problem, we're also the solution. And that's why we've made this video. Not to tell you how to do your job, but to empower you to make decisions that strengthen your business, your industry, and your communities. Let's look at the facts. Business owners want clean parking lots and landscapes. People want clean parks. Homeowners want attractive yards. Leaf blowers are the right tool for these jobs. They're more efficient than a broom or rake. And the longer we're on a job, the higher the manpower costs. These costs go straight to our customers. Manufacturers have worked hard to reduce leaf blower noise. And in truth, today's leaf blowers are up to 4 times quieter than the old models, and are even considerably below the decibel level considered acceptable in most U.S. cities and municipalities. As landscapers, we can also make simple choices that make the biggest difference, like being sensitive to the time of day, making sure bystanders and other landscapers are at least 50 feet away, making sure to turn your blower off when approached, using reduced noise leaf blowers in sensitive areas, using the blower at part throttle, or in other words, using only the power needed for each task, and of course, avoid using more than one leaf blower at a time, especially in neighborhoods. Manufacturers have been working with the U.S. EPA and California Air Resources Board for more than 2 decades to reduce small engine emissions, like those powering leaf blowers. In fact, the latest technologies have reduced the emissions generated in outdoor power equipment by as much as 90% since these engines were first regulated in 1995. In addition, we now have access to battery-powered leaf blowers that have 0 exhaust emissions to meet many of our needs. We maintain these standards by getting our equipment regularly inspected and serviced. And we always turn off the blowers when not in use. Studies have proven that a leaf blower, when used properly, generates no more suspended dust and debris than a broom for everyday uses. But remember, it's on us to use proper operating techniques. You can do things like using the lowest possible throttle speed to get the job done, wetting very dusty areas before you blow, checking wind direction and intensity to make sure dust and debris aren't moving toward open windows, doors, etc. Starting with the nozzle close to the ground first, and raising it to a height that minimizes the amount of dust generated. And when dealing with excessively dusty debris like topsoil, gravel, or construction debris, consider using a different tool for that particular part of the job. Listen, I'm not trying to pile more work on you, but communities around the country are banning leaf blower use because of misinformation and misperceptions. And we as landscapers have a responsibility to ourselves, our business, our industry, and our communities to hold ourselves to a basic standard to prevent this from happening. We have to embrace the fact that we are ambassadors for the landscaping community. That means we have to always practice safe and courteous use. We use the latest equipment, and we let our neighbors and our community leaders know about all the steps we are taking to be responsible partners. After all, these are our communities, and just like in landscaping, the only way we can get the job done is together.